Alright everybody, hello and welcome back. This is game 5 of the Samson Khan versus Hite Sparky's pre-match. I'm not sure why only these two are playing a pre-match. There's a couple other test matches. They're slightly different. They're actually trying out new maps. This one is going to be just old maps. Stork and Leta facing off. Those certainly two great players. Lifetime record 1-1. I guess they haven't seen each other that often. But this is actually a pretty relaxing cast. Believe it or not, doing a live streaming cast like I did last night is actually really stressful and quite difficult. I mean, most of the times I'm just focusing on trying to keep my computer from exploding from all the stuff that's going on, all the tech stuff, and trying to keep the stream up rather than enjoying the commentating. But certainly I actually overall had a great time with Day 9 casting the CSL All-Stars game at this kickoff of their second season. But certainly, you know, in my videos you'll find that Game 4 is of horrible quality. That'll give you the experience of watching the live cast. So is the first half of Game 5. The rest of the games, though, I managed to record using Camtasia. So I was recording actually the same area of my screen twice, once with a live screen capture and streaming program, and once with normal Camtasia, and at the same time I was recording the voices on Ventrilo of both of us, and I was talking on a different computer and streaming it all on Ustream. So you see what I have to do. Here this is much simpler. I just watch a video and talk, but you know, you guys don't know how much I bleed for you guys. You know, really, I think you guys would be surprised. It's like basically a liter of blood every week. Anyway, it looks like we got ourselves Samson Khan up 3-1 in this series. Of course, it's not a best of 5 like I said in the last game, so it doesn't matter. It's just 5 games for fun. This is, of course, is Leta at the top right, and Stork is at the 9 o'clock. This is Outsider. Certainly a fun map to watch in this matchup. Looks like Leta is going to start off with a wall-in position here. Usually the Protoss tend to take a circular route, trying to take the outside of the map, and Terran try to push the middle of the map. That seems to be standard here. And often harassment is highly important for the Terran, trying to get those drops off and stopping the Protoss from just expanding and taking all those double gases, all those extra expansions. Day 9 made a good point. He said this is one of the most complicated maps out there right now, and I definitely agree. It is not a straightforward map, not easy to play, lots of options, and we've seen some fun games on here. Unfortunately, we haven't seen enough carriers. I really want to see some more carriers. We saw it once and it didn't work. Stork used to be known for carriers before somebody called Flash came around, but he still once in a while pulls it off. So I'm going to hope there's something like that, although I think much more likely is some kind of you know, more standard Arbiter build, an expansionistic build. I really do love Stork's 2-base carriers, though, and maybe on a game that's not very serious, he'll try it again. That's kind of a fun build to watch, because he just gets there so damn quick, and if the Terran doesn't see it, he just pulls miracles with just 2 bases worth of carriers. I mean, it's really not a lot, but it's just awesome to watch, especially when the Protoss loses his base, and then he's a refugee Protoss, and he runs around just like with carriers destroying everything. Anyway, it looks like we're going to see a scouting probe here from Stork. Stork with a core, most likely a factor coming soon for Leta. Stork, I mean, certainly he hasn't been doing poorly, I guess. You know, not necessarily getting into too many of the later stages of things, but that's okay. Certainly in the World Cyber Games, that's different. Actually, I should mention he did get 2nd place and qualified, so he will be in China, and certainly that will be very exciting to watch. See if he can get a 2nd title. I think he'll be the first player to get a 2nd title in the real World Cyber Games. Second first place title, at least. There is Scout Probe. It's not going to get in. There's Leta, who sprang out of nowhere, fully formed out of Zeus's head, much like Athena. That made no sense at all. Looks like a Zealot's going to chase a Marine back. Stork choosing to build that one early Zealot. Always interesting to watch which players do that and which don't. But the Zealot's really just going to pound away a little bit at the front door at most, and it's not going to help him too much. There's a starport going up for the tricky, wily Leta. Leta is going to go for this starport, and you know the reason is obviously he wants territorial control early on. He doesn't want Stork to just be able to go around and drop places and not be able to attack any of those places. Certainly that's very annoying for the Terran player. Leta has been on and off recently, looking at his record, losing a number of games in the World Cyber Games, losing to Quanro, who got very far, and in OSL he didn't make it into the top 8, so I think he was stopped in the 16th. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It looks like we got ourselves a Vulture out, and it's going to kill Stork's Zealot, which doesn't manage to do too much. It's going to go down right here. Stork has managed to get a probe in the mid-back of Leta's base. Let's see if he does anything creative here. I doubt it. It's just going to be a scouting probe. But this is going to be essential for him, actually. It's going to be very nice for him. He is going to be able to spot this starport and prepare accordingly. So this is definitely worth it for Stork to get this critical scouting information. Although, I mean, I got to think he's going to get there before something kills it. It would be very unlucky if he doesn't. Uh-oh. Oh, man. He has not seen that starport. He might be thinking this is a fast expand build of some sort, and he's looking for that expansion. He's not going to see it. It's not going to help him when he sees it. Doesn't see it. He's going to have to figure some kind of tech build, but he doesn't know exactly what. It could be a hidden factory. I mean, it could be one of many different things. That probe is going to die. There's Leta. First-person view from Leta. And we'll see what he decides to put in that dropship. If it's going to be vultures, if it's going to be a vulture tank, what it is. If vultures with mines certainly wouldn't be bad either. There's an observatory from Stork. He's opening from a pretty standard build here. Looks like he is going to go observatory into expansion. Safe build, certainly. And there is the first dropship loaded up with a tank and a vulture. I wonder if it's siege mode finished up or if it's mines or something. We don't see anything yet, though. Might be mines. We'll have to see. 3 Dragoons in the front door. Expecting something, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be about Leta's luck and Stork's positioning here. Is Stork going to be able to find the, find this dropship in time? And Leta knows there's 4 Dragoons in the front, so he's got to suspect that's the only place with many Dragoons. So he's probably going to drop somewhere where there aren't any, and that could be the bottom there. It's not going to help him greatly, but Stork might not have seen that. I don't think he did. Not with a building warping in. And those are 2 tanks, in fact. That was a tank and vulture, so it's definitely going to be a siege drop here. There we go. Very nice. Stork needs to cancel right away. Is he going to get there? I don't think he's going to be able to defend, certainly. Yeah, I think that was is it cancel? No. It is a full Nexus. It's going to go down, though, unless a shuttle gets out really fast. Yeah, that's the only hope he has. Maybe he feels like he has the timing for that. But these are 2 tanks here. I mean, that's not a 1-tank drop where it will take it down, obviously, half the speed, and I think there might be a chance of getting the drop down for Stork. But right now, there's nothing that Stork can do. He's going to be down a command center. I mean, down a Nexus, but have I said a million times that Stork is the master of comebacks, or have I not? The answer is I have said many times that Stork is the master of freaking doing poorly in the beginning and then kicking ass in the end no matter what. But look at this. Leta going for a double expand here. That could be something that helps Stork back into the game. On the other hand, of course, that most likely will be the thing that seals Leta's victory instead. So Leta going for the double expand, I mean, that's just going to, if he manages to hold both, Stork's out of this game entirely. If Stork manages to get some kind of attack off, while Leta is temporarily weak, though, he could obviously come back. It's going to be very hard, though. Leta's not a bad player. He's worst lineup is against Protoss, but still over 50%, and still he's done some pretty big things, although not necessarily against the best Protosses, I guess. He's not as good as some of the Terrans against the best Protosses. I'd say, like Fantasy, for example, is a top Terran against just top players, whereas Leta is just perfect against worse players. Fantasy isn't. Different kinds of play styles, I guess. But Leta, of course, is no slouch. I always like Leta's play, by the way. There's some Leta haters out there, and he's had a mixed record, but I think he's got tremendous potential. Unfortunately, he hasn't shown it much in his, at least in his performances in the full, in the single leagues. I mean, he's gotten far in the Pro League with an impressive record, obviously, but just not having that great luck going into a couple groups of death, etc. Looks like, anyway, Stork is going to have a drop on the right side. It might be in range, it should be in range of that base over there, but look at that. There is Leta with his 2 tanks, dropship surviving. That means Stork's not going to do anything there with 2 Dragoons. And now a turret going up to cement that 3 o'clock.